right, let's put your book away. Thank you, thank you. What's up? Is it not working? You're gonna type in that code, 78510. Okay. Good morning, Daddy. Okay, I'll give you another minute to make sure you're logged in. 3, 2, 1, tax friends. You're not supposed to be chatting with a neighbor. You're supposed to log in, give a thumbs up, and then be ready to go. Okay? So your voice should not be on. This isn't the time to chat it up with your neighbors. We gotta get moving. Arturo, really? Right after we say that, we're gonna make dancing noises, singing noises. Okay, we're gonna start with the game pin. Will be on the screen the whole time. So if you ever get logged out or if you're not logged in yet, you can always log in. So we're gonna start. This is a review of what we did yesterday. So try to remember everything you can about absolute value. What do you need the game pin real quick? 770-8510. Thank you. Okay, this is what does absolute value measure? So the options are how far you travel, the distance, and the distance from zero. Pick which one you think is correct. This is what we did yesterday. We were standing on the number line. Hey, friends, guys, third time. At no point are you chatting with your neighbor. Okay, Miss Sage is going to read through the problems because this is our bell work. So I'm going to tally friends who are chatting, and that's going to go away from your participation voice. She shouldn't talk over you. Okay, so it looks like most of you got this. Absolute value is the distance from zero. So when we were on our number line yesterday, remember if we were standing at -1, we were 1 step away from zero. So that's our absolute value. So some of you, it looks like some of you picked distance, which is close. We just want to make sure it's the distance from zero. And how far you traveled, that's something else. We're not looking at that. That would be like how many steps you took total. But the absolute value is from where you're standing at the end, how far you are from zero. Nice job. Okay, true or false? Absolute value can be positive or negative. So you're gonna have to pick whether that's true or false. So for this one, absolute value is always going to be positive because if we're standing on -3, we're 3 steps away from zero. And if we're standing on +3, we're also 3 steps away from zero. So when we have absolute value, that's going to be written in those bars. So we're looking at how far we are from zero. So it's always positive. I know that might have been confusing since we just got started on that yesterday, but can I get a fist at 5, 0? That doesn't make any sense. 5, I can understand that. Okay, it looks like we've got kind of a mix. So after we finish this up, we're gonna do more stuff where you can use your number lines. So for that, that's where we remember, oh, if I'm standing on -1, it's gonna take me 1 step to get back to 0. So we'll go over that more in a little bit, but remember absolute value, if it's in those fancy bars, it's always gonna be positive because the distance from 0 is always positive. Nice job, Christian. Okay. So this is asking, what's the absolute value of 3 plus 5? So What's the distance from 0 of 3 plus 5?
Good morning, Seabass.
Make sure you're answering if you haven't answered yet. This is the absolute value of 3 plus 5. Yeah, nice job. It looks like most of you got that. So it's going to be 8 because 3 plus 5 is 8. So I know our number lines don't go this far, but if I'm standing on number 8 on this number line, it's going to take me 8 steps to get back to 0. So yeah, it looks like some people said -8, but even if I'm standing on +8, I'm not taking -8 steps back. I'm taking 8 steps in the negative direction, but the direction doesn't matter because we're just going to be taking 8 steps. But it looks like two got that. Okay, this is the absolute value of -2 plus 1. So maybe if there's a number line by you, you can look at the number line and see maybe what that would be. So if I'm standing on -2 and then I go forward 1, how many more steps would it take for me to get back to 0? Okay, so it looks like there maybe was a bit of confusion on this one. So I'm gonna do it standing on this number line. So over here, I'm standing on -2, and then I'm gonna walk one step this way, and I'm standing on -1. So if I'm standing on -1, how many steps will it take me to get back to 0? It's gonna be one more step because I'm standing on -1, so I take one step to get back to 0. So whenever you have a negative number, it's gonna be the positive of that number. So if I'm standing on -1, it's gonna take me, the absolute value is gonna be 1 because it's gonna take me one step to get back. And if I'm on -10, it's gonna take me 10 steps to get back. So the absolute value would be +10. I know we didn't really do a lot with those bars yesterday, but does that make sense? That's like the part C of your question. So you answered like what number you were standing on and then how many steps it would take to get back to 0. Does that sound familiar from yesterday? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Thumbs up. Yeah, I know that one was kind of tricky, but after that, does that make a little bit more sense about why the answer for that is 1? Okay, and then there's gonna be one more question. Okay, 3 minus 2, the absolute value of 3 minus 2. Okay, it looks like more people got this one. So if you're on 3 and you go minus 2, you're standing on number 1, and if you're standing on number 1, it's gonna take you 1 step to get back to 0. So do you guys think it's easier when the numbers are positive? Who thinks it's easier when the numbers are positive? Yeah, it can be kind of tricky, but even if it's a negative number, if you're on like a negative number on the number line, it's still gonna be a positive amount of steps back. So that was it. It looks like. Oh, it doesn't show everyone's names. It's weird.
It shows,
Oh, yeah.
there we go.
Nice job, everyone. Okay, good job. So now I'm gonna set up the last 2 number lines, and you guys are all gonna get a packet with more questions about absolute value. So for this, on the first page, you're gonna be asked to compare some things with absolute value. So if it's ever in those bars that look like this, that's when you can stand on the number line to figure out what that means. And then we're gonna do some questions where there are different values and you're gonna put them on the number line in order. And then there's some word problems. So work with your groups, you can use the number lines and just get through as much as you can today.
So flip your iPads upside down, put them in your backpack, you don't hate them.
And we have a pencil.
Yep, same thing, I'm writing your name down though because they put this in here and back again. See that, so I'm writing your name down.
Did everyone get a packet? Like, if I can get it changed.
Take that out of your mouth. This is where they all go? Yes. What's that? Oh, Gotti, I wrote you down, I didn't hear you. That's an illegal move, there you go. I need it back. Anybody need to borrow a pencil? Darlene, I'm gonna give it back, okay?
Yeah.
Let me give you one quiz and eraser. You need that?
Oh, you are not.
Oh, no, okay. No, you didn't. Oh, I missed it. I got a reminder. You know. Four. They're basketball game. Yes. And then this one didn't what? With an eraser.
Well, it's not certain.
Oh. Very confident. Remember getting graded that? Oh, the gentleman is over here.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
No, you're good. Did you want to?
That's cool, right there.
Yeah.
Hey, Lily.
Absolute value ever be negative.
That they don't have.
No. Okay, because it's the and you still got to take all the negative one, you say anything back to that. But then that's the negative. So, what is that?
It's like, when they like, I don't know, like, you got to say. I don't want that.
But there's Why
Why
are you
negative?
thinking
What's
like-
the absolute value? Negative seven.
Buddy.
Oh.
Six. It's the same number, but not negative.
Alright.
So you just rewrite the number with that one negative, right? So it's three, with this bigger one. No. When you see a negative.
Just an account, we just pull in.
Keep going. You should already be done with the first few. It's 4 or 5 bigger. It shouldn't take that long to get started. There we go. Excellent.
It's this one.
Now, second one, guys, what is the absolute value of negative 6? Very good. Now, what's the absolute value of negative 6? 6, so is it 3 greater than 6? No. Why are you on the back? Negative 6. Right, what's the absolute value of 5? Right, 3 and 6. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. Yeah, finish up. So, okay. It's opening for.
Oh, bro, I'm not hard.
And I go to negative 6. I'm going to down lower.
What do you do?
What did I get rid of? Which one is negative?
You're talking. You can go back.
That means it's all.
Riley's my friend, was signing the papers.
Then find a different group. You need to find a different group. How are we doing? We have greater than, less than greater than, or when it's done about okay, so let's. That value is negative 1.
Yeah, you know.
One. The absolute value of 5.
I mean, you can go ahead.
If I'm.
No, God, like.
I'm standing on 4 and I take 3 steps back. That's right there. You can use it. How are you ladies doing? You've already done number front? So, okay, let's get your neighbor caught up.
So what is negative 167 plus 3?
If I'm at -7 and I move forward 3, what number would I be at? Yep, that's what it's for. Go to -7. Okay. Now, how many are you? You were 42. There you go. So what number would you be? So write that down and compare it with the other number. So if you have negative,
What do you want to say?
yep, it's -4. So it's 11.5 less than -2.
Oh.
You have $11.50 where you owe somebody $4. You could pay credit more money. Yeah. But now, here there's no negative. What's 17 minus 10? Exactly. Which one's greater? Now you may move on to the number line. Good job, ladies. Okay, you should almost be done with it. All right. Here we go. So, here.
Yeah, 12 minus the absolute value negative 4. The absolute value is
Okay, if I have 8,
It's okay.
so it's all -2, correct? -4. What did I get done? And I went up by kind of taking away 4. They're equal.
Oh, wait,
There you go.
For this one,
We're gonna catch it.
when the outside was 3.
Are we doing okay?
And then you can end up on the number line. So what's
Here's the child. Child.
Oh, you guys, if I'm hearing non-math, I'm gonna take one person and pluck them out of the group. Okay, because we don't have time for it. There's some people on the second page. You guys, it's math, time. Tough math. Excellent, you ladies made it to the number lines. Good. Okay. Boom. Okay. So, here's the first one.
So,
Let's see, hold on. No.
My parents signed my paper.
Sign your paper.
how's it going? You're stuck? Okay, so for this one, you have different values. So what I want you to do is find, what is the absolute value? I'm gonna get to find what is 8 minus the absolute value of 4, and find whatever the absolute value of -6 divided by 3, and then put those on the number line. So for this, you'll solve that and you'll get like one number. And then you can put that on.
Yes. So what is 6 plus 3? Yeah. Okay. And then keep going. Solve those and then just create an underline with the answer.
And that is 2 times.
Okay. Okay, United Kingdom. Same thing.
Yes.
I know.
Sorry. We're kind of going off the number line, but imagine I'm standing on the first set. So I need to take 9 sets away.
Born in the gas.
What number am I saying? -2. The absolute value, the absolute value is -2. What number am I at? Negative, it's gonna be 2 because if I'm sitting on -2, it's gonna be -7 get down to 2, right? Yeah.
I know.
So here I am.
Where were you? Where were you? What were you born?
They're working. Okay, so right here, okay. Now we have. You have it, she does not. Okay, so if you're at -7, you work for 3, what would you get? So, that's what, all the way over here at -7. Okay, how many can you move, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, what number am I at? -1, right? So this is -4. So it's 5 and -4. Okay. So then here, what is 17 minus 5? Yeah. Whoa. Okay, I'm actually gonna go over that with the class. Okay, everyone, listen up. Okay, y'all, it sounds like some of you are on this page with the number lines and the absolute values. And there's some questions about how to do this. Y'all, can listen up front. I'm gonna do the first one with you so you understand. You want to mirror it up? So you can look at it? Sure, yeah. Okay. Hey guys, so right now your voice is off and your eyes are up front so that you can see an example. Okay. So for the first one, we have all these different ones. We have the absolute value of 6 plus 3. We have. Hey, pause, guys. Your voice is not on. If your eyes aren't looking at the screen, rotate your body. I'm still seeing the back of Jade's head and Daylene's head. Guys, you need to rotate and look up here. Turn around. So for this, we have these different values and we want to put them in order on the number line. So first you have to figure out what those are. So this is asking for the absolute value of 6 plus 3. So if I'm standing on 6 and I walk forward 3, what number am I standing on? 9. 9. And if I'm on 9, what's the absolute value of that? How many steps would it take me to get back to 0? 9. So this is going to be equal to 9. So for this next one, we have 8 minus the absolute value of -4. So what's the absolute value of -4? It's gonna be +4, because if I'm standing on -4, it takes 4 steps to get back to 0. So now what this question is really asking is, what is 8 minus 4? What's 8 minus 4? It's 4. So here we have the absolute value of -6 divided by 3. If I'm standing on -6, how many steps does it take me to get back to 0? 6. Yeah, so now the question is 6 divided by 3. What is 6 divided by 3? 2, exactly. So now I have these numbers. I have 2, 4, and 9. So I want to put them on order. What's the smallest number? 2. So you can put that over here. What comes next? 4. Yeah. And then lastly, we have 9 over here. So I want you to find what each one of those numbers is, and then put it on the number line in order. Can I get a thumbs up, thumbs down? Does that make more sense? I know a lot of people were confused about what to do on that page. Okay, I see some thumbs up. They'll also be floating around to answer any questions.
I'd go over what the negative means on the outside of the absolute value, because they haven't learned that.
Oh, okay. So for this, if I'm standing on -3 and I go +1, what number am I standing on? Maybe look at your number lines a little close. So if I'm standing on -3, I'm walking 1 step this way. So I'm standing on -2. What's the absolute value of -2? 2. So this is saying -3 plus 1. This is 2. But we have this negative in front, so that makes it -2,
Right?
because we found the absolute value, so that was +2. But then it's saying, what's the negative of that? So we have the absolute value of 2, of a -2, so it becomes -2. That one might be a little bit more confusing. Can I get a this to 5? Does that make sense of how we had the absolute value of -2 was 2, but then we had a negative on the outside, so it became positive or -2? Anyone? 4. Does that make 0 sense or a lot of sense? Okay, it seems like we got kind of a mix. Work through what you can. Miss Van Aiken and I will be floating around to help you as you need it. How's it going? Great. Okay. You found this is negative, right? The absolute value of -2. However, they have a negative on the outside. That's how you do it up there. Because that's not word for that. It's hiding on the outside. So the right here, the absolute value. So -2, what is, if I try that, kind of think of order of operations, if I drop it down. Okay, so here, the absolute value of 2, right? So then you need to add the negative. So if I have it in there, what's the fraction? So a fraction is okay, 2 on top and 4 on the bottom. Does that make a little bit of sense? Okay. What's the answer out of your fraction? Like this, so we have, right? You split it on 2, right? Like that. That piece right there. So like that.
Let's say with one dollar, if you do for sharing, how much would you each get?
That's gonna be smaller than 1 because right. Numerator and denominator is smaller.
Yeah, but that's actually one, you have $2, but if you right, it would be 1 half. You'd have 50 cents, 70 cents.
That's a little more. So party half,
Negative 2, 1 half, have 1 half. And then you ask me about so those are the 3 numbers. Gosh, I'm looking for your work, and you maybe be able to rejoin, but I'm looking and you're not working.
This one is a little confusing. I'm standing on -2, and I'm going to, what's that better for you? Then I'm on -3.
If you have $2, you have 4 friends.
So that's the,
You're splitting it up.
I'm starting on -2 and going back one.
You have $2, you have 4 friends. Okay, let's say you have $1 and we're splitting it with friends. How much would you each get? 3/4, which is a half, right? So if you had $2, and you split it with 4 people, you each get 50 cents. So this is 50 cents is half of a dollar, right? One half, yeah, but you need to do 2 divided by 4 if you want it. 4 divided by 2. Right, how are we doing?
That
Good, keep going. Excellent, spot the number line. Good job, ladies. Okay, here. You how much money will we do?
So for that,
You only have $2.
over here we have.
All 4 people. Okay, what we said, then you lock that up.
It's about time to start wrapping up, so I'm gonna give you this exit slip. And I just want you to do your best just to show what you've learned the past few days. So
Hey guys, this you're doing independently.
So you're gonna do this on your own. You can feel free to like look at the number lines around you. You can stand up and use them if you want, but just do your best.
Do you want these other parts?
No.
I will leave you them.
Guess what? I got.
Guys, it's in Spanish, but try this, or did you get one? Donna didn't get one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she did, never mind. Okay. Okay, I like how Marilyn's table's doing it quietly. Christian's table is doing it independently. Ladies, make sure you're doing this independently, gentlemen. Thank you. You're going, friends. You only have 10 minutes. Get your name, get going. Ladies, do it independently. It's in Spanish too, so we don't need to help a friend.
We have a few minutes left, so just try to write down anything, They seem more.
All right, we're gonna come around in a moment and collect it. I need you to hand me the pencil I gave to you as I cross off your name. Because I am out of pencils and I need them all day long for other friends. So as we pick those up, because the bell will ring in about 3 minutes. So finish up your last one, then hold it up and we'll come around and get it from you. Got it, you done? Okay, pencil please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Arturo. Thank you. All right, Seabass. And Christian. Who was that, Josh? That's a good thing, I did my Josh.
Why did you got one quick?
Say that again. I need to look at, I'm putting in new sports 4th hour today. I'll message you on the cover. I did have, come here, Seabass, you were missing this. So you were missing this, so you're gonna want to do this. Okay, so here, you're gonna come over here and it says a hiker climbs 900 feet up a mountain. So if you're going up, would that be a positive or a negative number? Positive. So then you'd come over here and put 900. Okay, oop, let me cross off Daylene. So here, you're gonna circle the word that tells you whether it's a positive or a negative number, okay? There- Thank you. Who's that for? Angel? Angel. Thank you. And then here, the opposite is if it's negative, it's the same number positive. If it's positive, it's negative. And then here, you're just putting them on the number.
So it's the same number here?
Yeah, so no, because this would be, what's the opposite of 250? Yes.
Oh.
Does that make sense? Thank you. Darling, in our lab, I need those pencils, please. I said, don't do it unless you, okay. Arlette, you still have the pencil? Okay. Download it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a good rest of your day. Something like that. Oh, that's the one, Jay Berg. I like your journal. I like your journal.